Hello, hello. It's been a little while. It's been a busy year, I'm sure, for all of us. I'm excited to show you guys a few things that I've been working on for my current district that I work in as a data coach. And eventually, I'd like to, bring this out to the rest of you. I know in a lot of states, you have these district professional development plans. In Ohio, we call it LPDC. We have to keep track of how many CEUs we have earned throughout the span of our license in order to renew our license. And this is just a really nice way to keep track of all of that. So I'm going to start by showing you the dashboards. That's the fun part, because you get to see exactly what each staff member is able to see. And then I also have a member dashboard so that the members of the group that approves all of the professional development plans and all the CEUs and everything, they can have their own way of tracking that as well. So this is the staff dashboard. So when the staff member comes to this dashboard, they can see whether or not their license is ready to renew, how many CEUs they have for each license, all the information about their license. Obviously, they can go to their state website, state education website to find that information as well. But it's all here in one place, your professional goals that you've written at the beginning of the year. This is all just sample data that I've put in here. We actually have CEUs for meeting with instructional and data coaches as well. So that's why that says coach CEUs. So that's a little bit different than just your overall license CEUs. Obviously, all of this can be customized depending on what you do at your school. And then you can see here that it's ready to renew. If you had more than one license, you can tell whether or not each license is ready to renew. This is just a breakdown of the CEUs that you've earned. So obviously, there are previous CEUs before we use this system. We just kind of lump summed those and added them to the system so that our staff members could see how many CEUs they had before the system was put in place. This is the time with the instructional coach, but we also have CEUs for lots of different things. There's a section to get pre-approval for PD, so our staff members can submit through the form that I'm about to show you any information about professional development that they like to receive CEUs for. They can determine whether or not it's been approved from a member of the committee that approves those. Here they can also see whether or not their CEUs have been approved, how many have been approved versus not approved, and they have some links here to documents from our professional development committee. And just a little note here that this does not include any CEUs that were uploaded in bulk from prior to the actual system being put in place. But anything that they put in through the system, they're able to see the date that they submitted it, the type. There's a link to the actual document, which I'll show you what those look like in a bit, whether or not they've been approved, and any comments for the submitter. Okay, so we went ahead and uploaded all of our teachers, all of our staff members' goals and license details, and bulk approved them because they're backlogged. But if they were to submit them, let's say next year for their goals, then it would have any comments from the committee member right here for them to see. So that's kind of what the staff member sees. They also have a link to the form to submit for CEUs as well, or submit their license details or professional goals. The members of the actual committee that approve the professional development plans see this dashboard. This dashboard shows how many of each kind of document they still need to approve, how many have been not reviewed, rejected, revision needed. There's also a null in there because there are some documents that or some entries that don't actually need to be approved. That would be in the case of like someone having two licenses. Well, the first license that goes through does not need to be approved because it comes together with the second license and it's approved all together as one. They have a little pie chart here to keep track of how many they still have to review. Of course, they have similar links, and then they have a list of a whole bunch of documents. Again, these are just random names, so don't worry about looking at them. They can write comments to each other when they approve them. The cool thing about this is that they actually review through a form. So they just click on that link. It takes them to a form. I haven't resubmitted these links, so the links are still the old links. That's why it says that you need permission. But it would actually take them to a form that looks just like this. It would already have the log number in there, so they don't need to worry about that. It's already connected to that teacher's log. They click whether or not it's approved, revision needed, rejected, number of CEUs awarded, comments for the submitter, comments for LPDC, and then they kind of like do a little signature at the bottom. So this is kind of where they keep track of everything. It does not show the approved documents. Those all get thrown into the folders that they have, so they don't have to worry about that. But this is just a nice place for them to keep track of what they still need to approve. They also have a staff-specific page, so if they're curious about a certain staff member's information, it looks exactly the same as what is on the staff dashboard. It's just this one shows them, they have the option to select the staff member. They can see anybody, as opposed to when the staff member goes to their own dashboard, they obviously only see their own data. Okay, so how do we get all this information in here? Great question. It all comes from the staff log. Okay, so this is just a Google form. There are some links here. They're fake. I took out some of the little numbers and letters in there, but they will get access to a professional development activities chart if you have that. This is the dashboard, the staff dashboard that they can see. It obviously collects email addresses. It can collect automatically if it's on your domain. And this is just kind of an overall, like, this is where you see everything. This is where you input your information. We have lots of different options for them to earn CEUs. So those are all these different options here. They each have a specific form that goes with them. I am going to go ahead and let's do documentation of clock hours, form 4. Oh, I got to put my email address in there. There is a template here. I don't think it's going to let me see that because maybe it will, because it's published. So this is a template that it's going to fill in. Okay, so you're going to, the staff member is going to input the date, hours, and the type of activity into the Google form. They do not have to worry about filling any of this out. You'll see in a second that it's actually going to fill it out on its own. Okay, so name of facilitator. Let's say Hattie. So John Hattie had some professional development that we attended. Date of activity, it was on Friday. The duration was 60 minutes. Type of activity, I'm just going to put PD, doesn't really matter. Yes, I want to submit, or no, I need to add more. So if you would like to add as you go along throughout the year, you can do that and have it all approved as a lump sum. Or you can actually submit each time that you add the clock hours. And this is whether or not you want to submit another entry. I'm going to say no. Actually, I think I'm going to go to evidence. And evidence type, so this is just, do you have some kind of evidence of CEUs? So maybe I have a grant proposal. Here's a whole bunch of information that goes along with that. I expect to earn 2 CEUs. You can add a file here directly from your drive or from your device. So let's just pick something random here. And no, I do not want to submit another entry. I hit next. And this is just saying, okay, you're good to go. Submit. I am going to pause because typically we have it to where it automatically runs these triggers and it'll automatically create all of the forms and everything for you in the background. However, I have not set up the triggers because this is all fake system. So I'm going to pause for a second, manually trigger those scripts to come through. I just have to click a couple buttons and then I will show you what it looks like in my email, what I will see once that is done. Alrighty, so we are now ready to proceed. Had to take a quick break because my husband and daughter came home with half a donut and priorities, you know. But anyway, so I went ahead and ran the script, and you can see that I was actually shared on a document. So we're assuming that my name is Marvin Castro right now. That's just one of the random names that popped up. So that's the one that I have linked to my email. So I was shared on this document. So I can open up this document, and it tells you that it's Form 4. It also tells you the date of the latest documentation that you had on there. So I documented that PD from John Hattie right here on 2/5. It was 1 hour. You can see that there are a couple of things here from another time. It looks as though perhaps that teacher put in minutes instead of hours, so I'll have to go in and fix that for them. And then it also has the total time and hours right here. So this gives you an idea of what the form looks like once it's filled in. Again, they do not fill this in. It all gets filled in on its own. And in addition to that, it also gets added to the list here. So you can see that I added something February 6th. It has a link to the document. It's going to take you to the same document that I was just on. And it also gets added to the member dashboard on their to-do list. So if we scroll all the way down here, February 6th, you can see that there's a link to the document, so they can very easily view that document. And then they also have a link to the review form, which collects their email, automatically puts in the log number. They'll have that document up, so they can say, okay, yeah, I approve it. They can give the number of CEUs, and they can also leave any comments for the submitter or the comments for the LPDC, and then they can print their name as their signature. And I click submit. Of course, this would automatically collect your email, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. And then on the member dashboard, it will now show that it is approved. And then after this, one of the background scripts runs again, it'll put a little stamp at the bottom of the document as well to show that it's been approved. So the staff member can see it on their own dashboard. They can also see it on the document itself if they open up the document, and it's going to take a few minutes for it to come through, but it will show up on both dashboards. It essentially works the same way with all the different documents. Essentially, they put all their information into the Google form. The Google form creates a digital version of the form. It shares everybody on that form. The professional development committee can then come in here, approve, reject, or ask for revision. And then the staff member can actually see whether or not that's been approved. Keeps track of all the CEUs for them, so they can always see how many CEUs they have. They can always determine whether or not they're ready to renew for each license they have. All of that is kept on the dashboard, so they're able to very easily find that information. I think that pretty much covers a very base level of the system. Like I said, it's definitely way more complicated than that with all the different kinds of forms. There's a pre-approval also. But everything can be customized, so that's a great thing about it, and really made to fit whatever your district needs, depending on which state you live in. So I think that's it. As always, if you have any questions, feedback, suggestions, I love to hear it all, so please reach out to me. My email, you just saw it a few times, is thejessicalane8817@gmail.com. And then my website is kind of the reverse of that. It's 8817jessicalane.com. So feel free to reach out. I'd love to work on this with you and your district. Just let me know what you need. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.